When I say the wild, what comes to mind? Do you conjure images of an Alaskan tundra, or Australian outback, or even dense jungle? Or what if I told you that perhaps we can find the wild much closer to home? Many of us around the world live in fast-growing cities. For myself, it's Brisbane. And if you're like me, you love to get out into nature. But often, instead of getting outside, we seek escapism. The comfort that we find in books and the endless doom scrolls through social media, seeking out wild places to feel like we're there ourselves, though never actually going, leaving us with this sense of disconnection.
And he looks back and decides that all those years he suffered, those were the best years of his life. He's able, if I like a moment.
So I understand that for many people, accessing the wild simply is not possible. And this can leave us feeling quite disconnected and quite trapped in the cities that we live in. Though this term, the wild, and these places that we fictionalize are harsh and unforgiving, they're never going to be accessible, especially for us who are tied to cities where we work, live, have our relationships and our lives. But if we change our perception of this word, perhaps look at the world through a different lens, we might be able to connect with nature a lot easier than previously thought. So to kick off this new way of thinking, I decided to start local, and what better place than my own front garden. I tried this out over the course of a few days, where I'd spend a little bit of time each day simply being present among the plants and the animals that I came across, taking a closer look at the tiny worlds that were unfolding around the garden did help me connect with nature more. I can confidently say that I saw in much more detail the plants and animals that I would have otherwise simply missed in the busyness of everyday life. I think a lot of us fall into this trap. The trap of only seeing the wild as being within the harsh realms far away. But in reality, we can often find the so-called wild right beneath our feet. And though this way of thinking doesn't necessarily get you out into the heart of nature, I think it does offer a way for those of us who might not have the means or ability to get out into the wild, a chance to connect with the natural world in a much more accessible way. A sentence that I read in a book recently summarizes this well for me, and it goes like this. The wild is the domain of wonder, outside of humanity, and yet our tangibly close companion.